Hello and welcome back to A Foreigner and Family in the Philippines. And I'm still over here. This is going to be the bananas. The banana check continued. I lost the last of that video. Sorry about that. It ended abruptly. I thought I had it situated, but I lost the end of it. And this is just the far back end. And these are a couple more hearts. I was on my heart search. This is a couple days later, but I did see these hearts before. They're out a little bit now. They had just sprouted. These are the Visaya Saba, and they are quite smaller than the giant. And these are kind of wimpy bunches here, but our banana buyer does buy them. It's a low price per kilo, but so it's good. And we have several of these down here, which I'm not very fond of them because they're have such a low price. And it's like, well, why not just grow it's just basically the same deal as growing the giant Saba. So, and again, there are more to the patch here because they take a little longer than, say, the Cavendish or the Lacatan bananas. So you have, instead of having 3 to a hill, you'll have 4 or 5. Now this needs to be gone through, and some of these need to be cleared because there are too many. And you can see by the 2 that got cut. We harvested those just last week, and then we'll leave that stalk there for a little while, let some of those nutrients that have already been converted be taken back in by the rootstock and then fed into some other trees, and then we'll come back and cut those down. And we did continue the planting kind of on the back hill here. I left a space. This is an area where I didn't get my border trees, but I left some space for the border trees. So next year, if things go well, I'll fill those in. But these are all the Lacatans, and that's what the whole video was last time. I did show a patch of the giant Saba, but these are the Lacatan bananas, which are what we're growing here mainly. Although next year I am looking at maybe having an area of giant Saba as well. This is one of the coffee trees. This is a little coffee tree here. It's got berries on it, which then have 2 coffee beans inside. And there are a fair amount of coffee beans on here, or coffee berries. And we have several trees like that throughout the property. That's actually a small one. The other ones, there's a couple that are just exploding. But so we might take those off and try them out and have them milled and see what we can get for them. And I'm going to go ahead and move to one other area of the bananas. Okay, I'm on my way to that other area with the bananas, but I made a little pit stop here. I've mentioned, because you can see the pump house down there. There it is. And that's where I've done different videos with the well. And these are what I talk about as the creek bananas, and they were planted from sucker. The creek down at this end, that's a little more sporadic. I didn't know kind of how the water went, and it has a bit of a odd flow. So some of those have actually died, and we've added since back. You'll see more bananas, little ones coming up at different. I've added rows at different times. I had extra Calmancy. I added a couple extra rows of Calmancy as well. But I don't really show this area very much because I don't come down all the way to the end. So I don't even think I've shown it on the video. But we put up a gate over there, but it's not even where we put the cement. It made like a ridge, so they're not even using that right now, which is fine. We don't even plan on putting the barbed wire to complete it over there until we're living. But I wanted to show some of these Calmancies over here. They seem to be doing okay. Those are the ones we planted last because we added the row. So I just wanted to show some of these. You can see there's some sort of leaf wilt. I don't know if that's from if they had had some sort of fungus issue, but they seem to be snapping out of it. I know I'm standing in the light there. And so then these rows of calamansi go from basically the fence over here, which I did leave a space for border trees eventually. We have some Madre de Cacao planted along the fence as a border on the fence, but then I'm still deciding on the tree. I've had videos where I've talked about that, and I'm still not decided on that. This one, it got hosed with the attemt, the chicken dung for fertilizer. So that kind of got put on there, but we've been getting lots of rain, so that's good. And this is just kind of one of the rows of the bananas with the calamansi in between. The calamansi are at 5 meters. It's kind of tough to see. We're doing round weeding on those, where we do the row weeding on the bananas, which are 3 meters apart. But the calamansi are actually 5 meters apart. And I'm going to continue up the hill and head over to that banana area I wanted to show. Okay, so this is a good view of the new banana planting that we have. We did that little patch that's down from the hill, that's on the downslope over here. We had planted that, and then the next one was along the side of this hill here. So each one of these sticks is a banana, although we've had, anytime you plant from sucker, you have that issue where you're getting that fungus, not fungus, excuse me, you don't want the fungus, but the bunchy tops. And this one here, this I can tell, it's going to be a bunchy top. It's kind of little to tell, but I do know that it is. So I'm going to need to remove that one. There are several others in here, so there are going to be some spaces that we'll have to come back and fill in. But it's nice to see that these guys are sprouting up, and fortunately we've had the rain, which has allowed me to keep planting the bananas. Now I've stopped planting the trees. The trees take a little more time to get established, so I don't even want to jeopardize those and have to try and go back and replant any of those. But this view down here behind the bamboo, there's that creek that I always say, the creek bananas. Well, that creek extends down here to the end, and it ends over there at the fence. And those bananas have done very well. And that particular section has the 2 rows. You'll see the white bags down there. Those are the 2 rows of mangosteen that are over there as well. So we do have these bananas coming up, which will be nice. And I'm just going to continue down the side of this slope and just show that area over there. So I've come down the back side of that slope just a little bit. Hopefully the wind isn't too bad here. And this is the final planting here. We've got bananas. Some of these are just coming up, and because they're the tissue cultures, not tissue cultures, they are the suckers. They come up a little more sporadically, but they typically do come up, which is good. You just have to come back and make sure you're removing any of those bunchy tops. And you'll notice the corn intercropped with the banana over there. That's my neighbor. So there's a fence that kind of goes along over there that we put up. They don't take very good care of those bananas. We have some other neighbors in the back that do a great job with their bananas, but I think they're letting those die. This is the back side of the other hill. I've shown this. I just haven't made it over on this view. It looks like I can see some bamboos that have fallen over that may need to be taken down. The soil was not that healthy, so we are fertilizing those bananas, and as you can see, those top ones are not doing as well. The lower ones have done quite a bit better. They have some trees, maybe some more microbial life and some biodiversity, more organic material in the soil. So those have done a little bit better. And this wind is moving a little bit, so I'm going to pause here and move down. And so I've just moved down a little bit. That wind wasn't up on the hill. It wasn't much, but it's enough to interfere with the microphone. But this is where the little creek that I have that runs through the middle of the property, it converges with another creek that runs on the back side, and then it exits the property. So we have the little creek that runs around the back side of that fence. So this is where, but this is also where I had the creek bananas, and I just kind of take them off. I have them take a left over here to kind of form a border for this little area. Is a great little, it's fairly small, but it would be a great little crop area. But I also like it. It's almost like a little park. And again, I also hung a left with the mangosteen as well. So there are mangosteen. The mangosteen are sensitive. They fry easily. They have a thick leaf, and they lose their moisture rather quickly. Fortunately, we've been great with the rain. We've got them sacked up. Some of these that got burned seem to be making a rebound, but they're slow growers. So I don't know. Hopefully, some of these mangosteen survive. I really like the mangosteen. Ooh, getting eaten up over here. We sprayed them with some karate pesticide. In this field, we were going to do some planting over here, but it does have some rocks in it, so I was going to do some sort of a water retention wall here. As it comes down, it'll kind of block and maybe even form a little flatter land area at the top, and then kind of retain some of the moisture. But I don't know if I'm going to continue that. I could use a lot of those larger stones for my road. But I was just kind of, instead of just tossing them over into the creek. But this is a well-drained area. It's great. They did spray, and I don't like using the weed spray, but I had a deal with someone where they were going to plant here. They didn't ultimately get around to it, but they sprayed my weed spray. So otherwise, it's very nice back here. I don't want to. But just with one spraying, it's changed it. That's why I don't like weed spray. I just don't like what it does to the soil. I'm just coming over here to this corner. Just to show the creek. And we've been having a lot of rain here, so it's flowing. When it's not raining, it'll dry up. And I have to take a look. I still have I'm not going to say about that just yet. I'll save that. That'll be a surprise for later. But that is a nice little creek. And I've seen people back here fishing. Now, I have never seen a fish actually in here, but they do fish. So there must be it someplace. So that basically ends. That's the full banana check. I mean, that's it. Everything. I've gone. This is the continued portion of it. But I went over and kind of looked at the bananas, see how they're doing, making sure we're getting them weeded and fertilized. We're working on some desuckering. And yeah, I need to have those hearts producing. I need to, at the very least, start covering my labor costs here. So I'll go ahead and enter there and keep you guys posted on how these bananas start producing. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.